What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Relaxing Thoughts Podcast. I am your host, Digital Relaxation, and we are back again with another episode. Just as a reminder, as always, if you guys are into this podcast or you like it, please share it, rate it 5 stars, all that jazz. And yes, today we are greeted with the guests today. Kindly like to introduce yourself.
Hi, I'm Dodge. I have a YouTube channel that is DodgeThis 82.
Yes. And Dodge have been here before, graced us with her glorious presence. So we are here once again, talk about stuff. But before we get into all the deep stuff and heavy stuff, as usual, usually when this is solo, I do this for me, but since you're here, we're going to talk about you. So what have you been up to in your life lately? Or, I don't know, just anything, period. Like what you've been watching, if you've been studying, or you've been planning things. What's going on with you?
With me, and I'm not sure if, what we talked about last time, if it's even anything new, anything that you haven't heard before, but since my channel is becoming more geared towards horror narrations, I've been trying to reach out to smaller YouTube channels and trying to help them out, boost their subscribers or their views.
Yeah, too bad I ain't on that list. I'm stopped. But that's good.
You're not a horror narrator.
I could be one. But yeah, so definitely with like our history, like knowing you from when you were playing horror games and like knowing how freaked out and stuff you always get towards it, like what makes you enjoy like reading horror, I guess.
I love how crazy the minds of a horror narrator are. If that made any sense. They do some really crazy things with words, and I am all for it. I love it.
The narrator or the author? Like you like how so like how hearing how people say things and act it out.
Yes, absolutely.
I don't want to say horror, but I was definitely into like creepypastas. I'm kind of still am, but like I guess you can call it the mini phase. Like it was like during that whole time period, like up to when I met you, like that was one whole. I was into my spooky, creepy bag of like watching and reading creepypastas. Listen, I even drinking. I got an audio book. Just nothing but like creepypastas, and I would listen to it while I'm going home from school, and it'd be like those night classes. So I'm just like walking home at night.
Oh, that's a great idea.
and there was one that was there's a few that was interesting, but one of them like this dude like put like effects in the voice to make him sound like a creature and whatnot. Yeah, I was like, oh, okay. But yeah. And then, of course, going into games, I was just like learning like deep lore in horror games. Like I don't care much about the boo in your face. Like I like the creepy stuff that like spooks you out about it.
Yes.
Yeah.
I love it.
That's good.
And the sound effects that they add to it, it's just a whole nother level, man.
Build attention.
The background music, all of that.
All of that.
But I find that when new narrators start out, it's a balance that is very difficult to obtain. Like when you're trying to get the levels between your voice and the background music, or your voice and the sound effects that you add to it, sometimes one is just too high or too low, and that seems to be a common thing that I've noticed with small narrators when they start.
Like going into like when you started doing it, like how was like your adjusting, like getting comfortable. Like everyone has that little thing, like especially for me, like when I'm about to press record when I first start my podcast, and I'm like all giddy and laughing, and like so like you trying to get into this like dark zone of being creepy, and you just like like in the middle of it, like you just start laughing or something. Like how was that when you first started, I guess?
How did I get into like the mindset of reading?
Yeah, like to get like from like I guess having that comfort of like knowing that you're about going to like this spooky character, like from being your normal self type thing. Like yeah.
Wow, that's a good question. I feel like the material gets me there alone.
Yeah. Okay.
I don't really. So I read it. The story will put me in that mindset, and then if I am having trouble projecting how I feel or how I'm supposed to feel, then I just go into the memory bank, make a withdrawal.
Yeah, I know that's one thing. I know people like when actors and stuff like, no, you gotta act out a death scene, and sometimes they try to use a real scenario.
Yeah.
I was gonna mention the reading thing. So like reading it, like how many times would you read it till you figure out like this is how you're gonna set the mood?
If it's good, only once.
Jeez, I feel like I had another question. I kind of just lost it. It's bugging me. Yeah, it's gonna bug me. I feel like it was a good one too. Jeez. That sucks.
I hate when that happens.
Yeah.
Write everything down.
Yeah. Well, aside from that, you are into like creepy pastas and stuff, or nah? It's just whatever. Like, do you read it on the regular, like what I'm saying, instead of like you doing it for a narration?
Well, I read it. I read them on the regular, whether it's for narrations or not. And if I run into one that I feel that I would like to post on my channel or on my podcast, then win-win. Like listening to it.
That thought came back to me.
You got it?
Yeah, go
Don't
ahead.
Forget it.
I won't. Go ahead.
Okay, but listening to them is tough for me.
Listening to from other people?
Yes, listening to other people narrate is tough for me. Because I'm always critiquing. Or comparing. Yes, absolutely.
I feel like I was kind of talking about that in my last episode, like to an extent, like about why people feel like say you doing your narration and someone else, I guess let's say someone who just started doing the narration, just come up and they do it, like they have more of a success than you about it, and like trying to compete with them instead of just like competing with yourself and staying in your own lane. Like, do you like feel like you're like when you critique them or whatever, do you put in as like a way like, man, I could have did that better, or you look at yourself like, geez, like I need to set my thing up?
Both, absolutely. Yeah, I listen to my narrations on the reg. If YouTube counted my views on my own videos, it'd probably be in the thousands somewhere. I listen to mine and critique mine pick it apart.
Yeah, that was usually my thing, especially with like my music when I first started. Like, it's because you know what mind state you was in, you know what point in time in life you was in, you know why you was doing it, you kind of know who you wanted to listen to it.
Yeah.
And when it didn't go that way, now I just felt like it's just noise. Like, dang, I was making this song thinking that everyone in my group was gonna enjoy this song, and like probably nobody even listened to it or nothing. Or I didn't receive the reviews that I was expecting. Yeah, so like listening to my old music is like, I gotten better at enjoying it now, but back then it was like, because I know I wasn't in a happy place during like the beginning of my music time. But the point I wanted to make earlier about the whole like getting into character and whatnot and stuff, like I was thinking about like how something that I tend to notice, like if you like watch anime and dubbed, like it's one of the few problems I have with watching dub. Some animes can do it, but it's like you can tell like the English speaker people like gotta do something different to stand up for the Japanese speaking voice actors. So like they would do like little things, like if someone gets like surprised and they're like and I'm like, to make that come off all casually and natural is like weird. Like I'll be listening to it and it like it just comes to my mind. Like some people probably not like just watching the show normally, and like I just catch those little things like when they and I'm like, bro.
Oh man.
Like I just
making that feel natural or sound natural is tough.
Yeah, it's like, because I know like most of the time like they're watching the video while speaking to get that thing, and it's like they probably watching the face reaction. They like like how you make that face work with that sound. It's weird. It's like, I don't know, but that's something I tend like. I noticed definitely like it's more prominent with like English. It's not like Japanese don't do it either, but it's like Japanese, like they're just known for overreacting everything. So like when they freak out, they're like, like so that they let you know something is wrong. Like the English, they like it's all so like that little gasp under their breath.
Have you been practicing? Because that's really good.
No, it's just like I'll just be noticing it. Even it's a rapper I listen to, and he does anime, like mostly anime, video games, wrestling, like those type of things in his raps. And he would like sample like clips from the anime, and like every time I hear the song and it's that part in the like the dialogue, I always hear like every time, and I'm like, jeez, like I can't listen to that song without like cracking up at that part. And it's one of my favorite animes too, and it's one of my favorite animes that I actually enjoy watching it in dub personally. So it was even more enjoyable, like because those are things I pick up on. Because I always did want to do voice acting. That was like one of my things, but. Yeah, I don't know. Someday when I get the courage.
Wow.
Maybe. So far I'm just enjoying like, cause what it is like, I just like I'm just big on like creating like everything, like so like I've written like stories and stuff that I would like see as an anime or as a movie and whatnot, and then think of like how I would like act it out and things. Yeah, I'm just not good at writing stories like as a good story writer. Like the way I write it is so it's hard to explain. Like it's to write it as in like what's happening scene by scene. So when you are like, now be in this scene, now select the dialogue and set the mood and that. So it's like it's a big summary of what happens in every scene and every episode, all in one. So that's how I write it. But yeah, Other than YouTube stuff, what else been going on with you? You been watching any of the things that been popping lately, like the What If on Marvel?
No.
Are you a fan of Marvel? Oh, no.
I am a fan. I am a fan of. I'm a fan of Marvel. I'm focused on narrations right now and like gameplays right now.
Okay. Right.
If I'm watching something Marvel, it's gonna be during dinner or something, like 30 minutes.
The background noise.
No, it's not background noise. I'm actually watching it.
Nah.
But yeah, Marvel's awesome. It's not my life.
They're cool. They do things.
They do things. I like Black Widow. That was good.
You actually enjoyed that?
I did enjoy
wow. Sheesh.
it. Don't sheesh me. What do you mean sheesh? You thought it was that bad?
Yeah.
Okay. You're entitled to
I mean,
your opinion.
yeah, I talked about it on the podcast. I explained why. Like, the only thing that saved it, and it wasn't even really that, like, it wasn't over the top, but the only thing that would saved it to being watchable is the fighting, honestly. Like, I didn't care for the story.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, if you're basing it on fighting alone.
Yeah, like, it's like, if you want to just, like, it doesn't keep you bored if you want to just watch something just to, like, oh, it's action packed. Hey, like, if it was like the whole movie was just that, like one of those dialogue heavy movies.
Oh,
then,
no.
Yeah, that
wouldn't work.
That one wasn't it.
Okay, understood.
Yeah.
Heard and understood.
Yeah.
Jinx.
Oh my lord. Do you even do that? Like, are you like pay attention, or is that something like? Cause usually, you know, when you're so close to somebody, you guys usually do tend to like say things at the same time.
Yes.
Jeez.
Easy.
We just bust out laughing when we do that, cause we like, damn bro, like we really did grow up together.
Yeah, man, you spend enough time with someone.
Yeah, but it's like it's not.
You already know what
it's
they're
that
gonna say.
we developed the same jokes, the same insults, the same humor. So like one question, we was hanging out and they were like, you're like, oh, like where your cousin at? And both at the same time we were like, who? Because we know like he never shows up.
Oh man.
So like, yeah.
So, are you still making music?
I mean, I don't think that will ever stop. I just, in the degree of how I was making it when I first started compared to now is definitely not the same.
Yeah.
Like, if you're lucky, I'll drop a project like once a year. Back in high school, I was dropping like 3 projects in a year. So, because I had a lot to say during those times in my life. I had to get things out. It was either that or do self-destructive things. So I was glad that I was able to do that. But yeah, so cause yeah, it's just changing. Like being in, like, as I getting older and getting over things in my life and progressing, and like I don't want to rap about that no more. So how can I change it up? So when I was going to stop rapping in 2015. I dropped the project and that was gonna be it. And then I came back in 2017 with the project, and that was the first project where I didn't really talk about like myself in a dark way. And then the last project that I just celebrated the 1-year anniversary of, that was the first time I actually did a project for the sake of just making good music. Like it wasn't about me, it was just about you enjoying it. So just getting to the
What do you prefer?
I like both. Like it's weird, like, cause it's weird liking my music now. Like before, like I said, when every time I dropped the project back then, I'll instantly like regret it. And
Oh, wow.
yeah, I was like, yeah, I hate hearing my voice. The quality of the mic was terrible at the time. Like, you hear my first mixtape, I had one of those tiny portable mics. It was like
a collar mic.
like like the size of like a domino piece. And yeah, I had it like hung up on my wall, and I actually had it in a bad position. It was actually a little too far from my height, so like I had to rap looking upwards, and you could hear it in my first mixtape. Like, I sound like I was like straining my voice so the mic can hear me. So it was that, and then just there's a lot of stuff that was going into it. So just getting better, and then of course, when it's your first time rapping, I was terrible. Like, my flow was just garbage. Like, stretching words out, like I'm about to go on, and like trying to like force it into the beat. Yeah, to now like it sounds more natural on most songs. But yeah, I do and definitely like enjoyed being able to like that was actually also the first time where I spent almost a year, actually, not even a year, like half a year making that project. That was like the first time I actually put time into it. Like, I started making it back in 2019, and I didn't drop it till this month, last year. So that was the first time I actually took time to actually get what I was trying to get out. Like, usually I would like, all right, I'm gonna do this project. Then do find the beats, whatever, and I'll probably do like 1 or 2 songs, like, yeah, and then I'll just go into like a big writer's block, and sometimes I switch beats up. Like, all right, now when I heard the beat the first time, it fit the mood, but now it's like a month has passed, like I don't feel like that's me anymore. So I had to figure that out and just go back and forth, and then one week it would just hit me, and I'll just do the whole project in a week, and that'll be it. So I don't know why. It's just like everything just hits me at once, and I just start writing, recording, and I'm like, well, there it is. That's the project. I don't even try to like perfect it, like record it, like try to learn the words, master it, and then re-record it so I could sound like I actually felt confident on it. Like, that was one thing that I was nitpicked about. Like, I sound like sometimes on some of my songs, I sound like you can tell I was reading my lyrics instead of like rhyming it.
Right.
So yeah. So this one, it was like I was more comfortable with it. Even still, I still nitpick it. But yeah. So I'm just trying to I'm trying to get this situation in my life set up so I can start going more serious with pretty much almost everything I'm doing. So, like streaming, videos, music, all of that. So right now it's nothing in the works, but I definitely have plans to still do music, of course. I possibly willing, depending on things. I have 2 projects in mind already, so we go with there. Yeah. As for going back to, so because I know you also do your podcast as well, and your podcast is almost similar as to what you do on YouTube, right?
Right.
So you also read the story there.
Yes.
And then you explain it. You know better than me.
Well, I mean,
I'm just you can explain it.
Right. So I post the story on YouTube, and then I pretty much just copy paste it and put it on the podcast. But of course, you have to put an intro and outro on the podcast episode. So, that's pretty much how it differs.
So most of the time, like the stuff that's on the YouTube is also on the podcast.
Yes, and sometimes stories that are on the podcast are not on my YouTube channel because I don't know, like creating the video for the story, it's might be too time consuming, or for whatever reason, it doesn't have one. Maybe for the sake of time, I wanted to put the story on it, the story on the podcast. And I mean, it's never too late to create a YouTube video of the story. It's just faster to just read it, get an intro and outro, and put it on the podcast.
Yeah. That's not bad. So all right. Oh god. So before I jump into like the main topic, I want to go back to my last episode topic. Mostly it's just a question. So like, have you ever felt like when you did something, like I said, going back to that example I used, like you did your narration or whatever, you like probably enjoyed it, you think everything came out well, put it up, and what happens, and then someone you probably know in the narration community that you feel is like kind of your equal, I guess, like there's no beef between you, like you guys are cool, but you like look at them as an equal, and they drop a narration or whatever, but you yourself probably know that maybe they did, like they probably told you beforehand, like, oh, like I kind of like did that last minute or whatever, or it just seemed like it was a rush job, but yet like their views end up surpassing yours or whatever.
That's standard for me.
How do you deal with that situation?
I take into account that they're better at it. Maybe not the quality of the narration is better, but they're better at, playing the game, like promoting it. They're better at thumbnails. They're better at descriptions, title, whatever. Yeah. They're better at it than I am.
Yeah, I feel that. Definitely. Because I used an example in mine too. Like me and my cousin, we both started uploading on TikTok like at the same time, and his first video went over 1,000 like quickly, and mine's I still have yet to get a video that's on 1,000. But like I would like the quality difference, like night and day pretty much. But I guess like he used like, I guess maybe probably better hashtags, and he used like a TikTok sound, and like usually that, like you can search videos on TikTok like through the sounds alone and see how many people use that specific sound. And and you like, oh, this thumbnail looks interesting, and he used this sound, I wonder what it was about. Like mine's most of my videos is like my own sound, so like that last video I did with the jump scare, like actually I know that last one was a sound on TikTok, so that's like a creepy sound, so whoever's looking for like creepy sound, that specific creepy sound, and they see that, but then I had another one that was just like, it's just me talking and there's no specific sound, so there's no way you can search me up by sound, but you got like, it's based on like my hashtag, so like if my hashtag is not, I guess, clickable enough and whatever other supporting factors, then so maybe that's it too. Like he just did more the behind the scenes stuff to make it get noticed more compared to me. Like I just did the actual like trying to just get the content out in the most quality way, and then here, hopefully you guys see it.
Right.
Yeah.
And that's the downfall of so many small YouTubers.
Yeah.
It's complicated.
Very.
You have a lot of small channels who try to copy the same formula, the same sort of way that people do thumbnails for horror narrations.
Yeah.
You know, you got the image on one side, you got the words really big on the other side, and you got like scary that sort of thumbnail. But then now you have so many people who have the same thumbnail that, you know, looks so much the same. It's got to be so much more than that. So you have to, man, you gotta really freaking work.
That's even like if you go on my YouTube channel, you gonna see like I have errors when you see my thumbnails keep changing to like a certain theme. It's like, all right, I've seen this before, let me switch it up. Okay, I've seen this before, let me switch it up. But
I recently watched a lesson on thumbnails on Skillshare. Not promoting them. I am not.
you're not one of those podcasts yet.
No, right. I'm not sponsored at all. They don't pay me nothing, I swear. And I was like, oh my God. Like my thumbnails are crap, especially the first ones that I posted for my scary stories. None of it didn't make sense. I went by the whole, I guess, hope that people be like, oh, rainbow glitter colors, let's click on that. And that is just irrational.
Yeah.
No one's gonna click on a scary story narration where it's bright, pretty colors. It doesn't make sense. I need to fix so many thumbnails now. Struggles, man.
There was
important.
a point I wanted to I want to make one point. But yeah, like going back to like small YouTubers and content creators in general and whatnot, like there's so much people who do amazing things, and it's like finding that that way to like get it out there. Like sometimes the algorithms be like, hey, sometimes they be blessing you, sometimes they don't. Like I had one time I had one of my videos where some dude like, hey, Google just randomly recommended me this video. I'm like, oh, okay. But no, I haven't heard that since. But the fact that like it's just one time, like Google decided to say, hey, let me just throw his video out there to someone somehow. I don't even know how, but
which one?
My Turok speedrun video.
Sweet.
Yeah.
Okay.
So there's I don't it's hard to explain if she's small or not. I don't want to say she's small. Her channel is fairly new, but it's like it's grown at a decent rate. But it seems like, because I watch her, like she usually live streams like a lot before she does like her main videos, and like I can see like the amount of people that's in the streams is not like popping like that. So it's like it's hard to explain like she doesn't have like, I guess, a core fan base, but like her videos can be reached universally in a way, if that makes sense. So she does she does like basically lore videos of like gaming franchise and whatnot. So what she would do is stream the game, like she would stream like that franchise to take notes and whatnot, and then she would like make a whole video explaining the whole lore of that game and whatnot. And the interesting about her is that she is a author who's going into like the gaming lore realm, so she already has background and know how to write like these scripts and whatnot, but now she's doing it into the gaming format. And yeah, like the fact that there isn't really that much channels that's like that. Like I said, when I found you, like nobody wasn't doing the Outlast timeline thing at that time. Like now I'm pretty sure you can find that anywhere, but the fact that when I typed it up, probably it was only your video at the time. It was like a lot of people was like, there's a lot of good things going on, but it's like once everybody starts doing it, then it's like the small people are gonna get drowned out and whatnot. And it's like that's why I want to do, like I want to make the content that like the things that I want to see or hear is what I'm trying to do. Like I personally haven't, like all the people that I follow on Twitch, I have not seen no one like do it like that, but like what I'm trying to do is like make like a lounge space for my Twitch. Like you come in here to like you hear like I play like jazz music in the background, whatever, make it feel like a lounge thing. I want to like eventually like change it up to like a whole theme with like the colors and whatnot in Avatar. But yeah, like just it's like to give a role instead of like here it's just this is me playing a game.
Right.
Like I feel like you're in a place like, oh, I know like this kind of place, like a role playing type thing. Yeah, so there's that. Then I already mentioned like my Sonic video, then other videos I still want to do and whatnot, like that I know people haven't done yet, but it's like, will people find it and whatnot? So because even that, when I did my Sonic thing, I was finding videos that came out like the same time as mine that was Sonic related. They wasn't the same concept, but it was like the fact that it was like I saw it and some of them were like already like up there in views, and I'm like, geez. So can't win. But yeah, it's whatever.
That original idea, man.
Yeah. So speaking of doing these things, this goes into our main topic.
Oh, wow, 40 minutes in. Yeah, let's do it.
Yeah, that's how it works. So going into like pursuing your dreams and your hobbies and all of that, like what's your feelings on like, I guess, trying to break that barrier of when it's cool to keep following your dreams or not? Like, no, you can go into how personal you want to go about it. Like for me, like the amount of times like family members and whatnot tell me like I should be doing this with my life at this point and whatnot, and but you know, here I am podcasting and content creating, and it's like they don't see what that can lead into. They rather like, no, you should be doing this with your life, get yourself set up. And like I could, but will I be happy in the end? That's why like that's the thing that concerns me. Like I don't want to do something because you feel like this is what I should be doing because that's something that you've been brought to be doing. Like, ooh, like breaking that boundary of like, no matter how far you are in your life, no matter what, like do something that you love. Like, yeah.
I don't. Wow. At first I was going to say I don't experience that, but I think it might be that I'm just deaf to it now. I expect people to be like, really? And like it doesn't faze me anymore. I'm too mature to care. Why would someone tell me that I shouldn't pursue my hobby? Like that if I'm going to school and I'm, you know, trying to get my degree, and I am also doing the things that I enjoy doing, who are you to tell me that I should not be doing YouTube things? If I'm getting my stuff done and I'm not depending on YouTube to pay my bills, then you know what really do you have to say to me?
Yeah. Like, yeah, because like I was like, I'm not relying on this. I don't I don't have no sponsors or nothing. Even when I did the Anchor sponsors, like I did it for a few episodes and I turned it off because I felt like it was like I'm not there yet to be doing sponsors. So like, oh, ain't no point in me doing this. So, yeah, like it's just that I enjoyed doing this because it's like, and it's not like not to be like no. Like some of it is my fault as like I said, as I got older, I learned to start blaming myself for things as well. But at the same time, it's like when I was going through those things in my life and whatnot, and when I either like hinted it or probably flat out said it to certain people in my family that I feel like, or just like my close cousins or brothers that I feel like maybe they could understand or help me out with the situation, and like they didn't. And it's like the amount of ways I could have went about this in a negative way, but here I am figuring out different ways. Like you know, all my life people looked at me as like quiet and being shy. No, I don't talk much, and you know, when I was younger, perhaps not so much now. It's not that I'm shy. I just don't like small talk. I don't like forcing conversations. So I don't want to talk to people if I don't have nothing specifically to say to you that will lead into like a good conversation.
Right.
So that's my thing. So like, yeah, like I mentioned this a while ago about like the fact that I do music, the fact that I do podcasting and content create for someone who don't like to talk a lot and keep to himself and quote unquote is shy. Like I'm doing things that's like very out there for someone. Like I'm putting myself out there in a way. Like the fact that I'm talking about these things and like I don't know who's hearing this. Like, you know, maybe my family member heard it and they're like, oh, I didn't know that he was going through this. Like I don't know, but it's like the fact that I'm putting myself out there. But it feels good to me to be able to have that release. Yeah.
Absolutely. Oh my god. So are you experiencing that a lot where people are just like, you know, what for what? Are people trying to?
I'm not experiencing so much as in like currently I'm not experiencing like, oh, why are you doing podcasting or whatever. I don't even think people really know I'm podcasting.
Right.
So like it is like if you know, you know, and people who do know, like it's whatever. So, but it's more so like other things in my life is like, oh, like I'm here, but you could be here if you do this and you do that. But it's like I don't want to do that. So like, why you keep pushing this on me? Like I don't want to live through people's suggestions or visions and ideals of what I should be doing that's quote unquote the right way, and then grow up and not like it. Just like getting a better job, I guess, in a sense, like a more better quote unquote like a career instead of like a regular job. Like you know, as you're getting older, like these are things, you know, you're not taught in school, like the difference between just having a normal job and having a career. Like sure. Like like you thinking like, well, I got a job, like what's one? Like no, you need a career. Like what? So it's like difference in that, and it's like yeah, but definitely like before, like in my like high school days, like there was the whole you know, you playing these games all the time, man. These games ain't gonna pay the bills or whatever. You gotta find a job. That's the before you had a job to talk, and then now once you have the job, now you got the career talk. so it just goes into steps. Instead of breaking it down early, that like no, these like you should have been. Like these things should be in your head about getting a career and why that's important, like why that should have been the first step to begin with. But there's the thing is like, oh, like at the time maybe it was kind of it was half and half true. It was still fairly new at that time period, about like living off of like gaming or whatever. You had to like be part of like teams at the time, but now like you can kind of do it independently almost. So it's like, you know, he's like, hey man, you playing those games, I ain't gonna pay them bills. And I'm just looking at like, yeah, like there's that, you know, there's those people who just win millions shooting people in video games for a living. I'm pretty sure it's possible. Instead of like putting me down about it, like encourage them to do it. Like you know, not encourage, but like at least like study and understand why and what they could have done with it. Like maybe you seen your kid enjoys playing video games or enjoy drawing art or whatever the case is, and you're like, I wonder if you can do something with this, and then you research it and push them towards that direction. But yeah, like the whole you gotta be at like you got this point in your life, you shouldn't be worrying about these things, you should be worrying about this, and it's just like trying to put all this extra stress on you.
Nah, I'm good.
Yeah,
like that doesn't that doesn't faze me right now. They can talk. I mean, they can talk and say whatever they need to say. I'm past that.
Yeah.
If it's making me happy, then, and I'm not hurting anyone, then, you know, maybe it's not paying any bills now, but it's helping me mentally.
Yeah, and that's a lot. Like, especially like, I don't know. I find it like, you know, you never know like the directions you go in life and whatnot. Like, you know, when you young, you thinking you be one way. Like me thinking about mental health and self-love and self-acceptance and all that was never in my mind growing up. Like I always thought things would just be smooth, and then the late teenage years happened, and now it's like forgetting what it is to be happy, and then now coming back to you know, reverting back to that again. And it's like now you know what it is to lose it. You don't want to, you know, now it's like you're gonna protect that no matter what now, because you knew how important it was. Well, you didn't know how important it was the first time you lost it, but now you do. Now you don't want to lose it again. So whatever it is that's keeping you happy and whatnot and stable, like you want to hold on to that tight. It's like I will always, like, that's why I said like music, like it's been this year is 10 years since I started recording music. Like I still don't plan on stop. Like I'm not no big musician. Like 10 years is a long time for like if it's a big time rapper, that's a long career.
Yeah.
And I'm just a regular dude who just puts it out there. But I'm happy with that. Like it got me through. I still like the fact that I can still sit there and put my music on and enjoy it as if I'm like damn, I really am nice.
Pat myself on the back.
Yeah, sometimes I'm like, yo, and it'd be funny because you know you're the writer. You know why you wrote, like you know like it's like you know why you wrote the lyrics or why you do things.
Yeah.
And then you like, months later I go back and listen to it, and it sounds like it was as if you was writing to your future self, because I catch things that I said that maybe I did not intend it to go that way, but I picked it up that way later on. I'm like, damn, I was really thinking, like I was really going in when I was writing this. I was like, yo, that's crazy. like I don't know, I can't put myself back in that position of when I was writing it, but it's like when I listen to it again, I'm like, yo, I didn't even catch that, like the way it just flips into that, and I'm like, it all means one thing, like it's like painting this one big story, like geez. But yeah,
that's great.
Yeah,
I've had that happen too. I did like a role play on my channel where, you know, venting. Sometimes it's just venting, saying the things that are on your mind that are going in a loop that you just need to get out for whatever reason. And I fought so hard against posting it because I thought that no one would want to hear this. No one would care. Not that no one would care. I knew someone would care, but I thought more people would be like, yeah, can we just like laugh a little? Like, can we just like tone this down? This is getting a little serious. But it resonated with people and it helped me a lot. And I listened to it almost every day. I know that's crazy.
I mean, like I said, like I still listen to my stuff. Like it's cool to like actually, like I said, like you want to make stuff that you like, stuff that people aren't making for you. Like that's what it is. Like nobody ain't rapping about the things I'm rapping about specifically. Like even if they are, but like to what degree can they go to personally as me? And nobody's making the videos that I'm making like to a degree. Like yeah, there's Sonic videos, but there's only like, oh, Sonic Adventure 1, Sonic Adventure 2. Like I put all the games into one whole story and probably in less time than they do in one game.
Right.
And like, yeah.
Had you had to get that out?
What?
You had to get that video out.
Yeah. Like it was like it's not even, it's like I said that like the Sonic franchise, like I hold that franchise dear to me. Like I explained it in the video, like when I got, especially like, you know how I feel about Sonic Heroes. Like I explained it in the video, like that game was like, you know, before, like that was before the, you know, the sadness or whatever. But that was like those times when it's like a complicated life. It's like, it's not like things were terrible growing up, things were bad, but it was like some things probably were still missing that you probably still needed. Like I wasn't like, I have an older brother, I wasn't the only child, I had someone growing, but like our age gap is at a perfect gap where he can get into a point, he gets into his phase in life a lot sooner before I do. And so now he has to deal with how he gonna manage that while I'm still in my own childhood zone. So eventually went from both of us being childhood like kids to him now going to his teens, and I'm still being a kid. So I'm still enjoying kid stuff and he's just taking a different take on it. So yeah, like having games like that when it's like he's doing his thing and he's not around, it's like now I'm by myself. I don't often see my cousins or whatnot that I'm close with. And it's like, here I am, just me and Sonic for the weekend. So, like, yeah, those are things that, you know, you hold deep into your heart, and what these specific games mean to you, what this specific story mean to you. Like, each game individually is good, but why not talk about that whole era, like how special that little era was. Like not only that they were their own games, but they had a whole overall timeline that you could actually piece together if you actually think about it. Even if that was the intention or not, it was the fact that it was possible. Because like, even though Sonic Adventure 1 and Sonic Adventure 2, like title wise is a sequel, story wise it's not 100% really a sequel. They don't really talk about like directly what happened in the last game. They only reference one thing that happened in the game, and I put that in the video. but it's the fact that they made that little piece, and it's like, oh, now it's a whole story, now it's a whole universe. So yeah. And I see like nobody was talking about that. It's always just talking about this one game, talking about that one game, why they like that one game, why they dislike that one game. I'm like, yeah, I'm missing the big picture though.
I could imagine you like sticking your fingers in your ears and just be like, like it's awesome, la la la.
Nah, but yeah, but going back to what you were talking about, like putting like something out that you wasn't sure, like one of the biggest, I don't know, it's not really a grab, but I guess one of the biggest sigh of relief I had was a song that I made that could not be posted due to copyright reasons. But this song is probably, as a song, probably one of the worst songs I made, because I wasn't making it to make it like a song. It wasn't for you to like bob your head to. It wasn't for you to like catch the words and rhyme. This song specifically told, I basically broke down the entire story when I first got into my depression to when I was gonna do stuff to myself and getting better. I explained that through the entire song, and no, and that was gonna be on my final project in 2015 when I was gonna stop rapping. That song was gonna be there. So like I put everything out on that project, and for copyright reasons I could not post it publicly. So to this day that song is not like heard by nobody but me, and I can't even listen to it myself because it just because it's like I can't enjoy it as a song. It's just like I don't want to sit there and hear that story. Like I got to a point where I don't like feeling bad for myself no more. So like I don't like talking about it too much. Like not in a way that's like I don't want to remember it. It's just like I'm better now. I don't need to keep dealing with it no more.
Okay.
So it's like I don't want like that song. That's one of those songs that's gonna be like in the vault, like it's there, like no matter what. Cause like in the folders, the overall project is gonna be there because it's part of the project. I made it to be part of the project, but publicly I could not release it. So the project was broken down. The project was missing like 2 songs I couldn't put on there. I managed to finesse one of them into one of my projects, where if you download the project, that song comes as a bonus. So it's not listed there, but when you get it, you would get it. I could have probably did that one with that one, but like I said, that one's not even a song. And like I said, at that point in my life, I was already, I'm done, I'm over it. So that's one of the songs that's probably gonna be in the vault, like forever, maybe.
Was it more like open mic night?
Was it
more like spoken word, like reading poetry type deal?
Kinda like I'm rapping, but it's like it's not meant to be a song. Like it's just I'm literally just breaking down everything. It just happened to rhyme. But yeah, I guess you could say like poetry or whatever. But it's like I don't know, different maybe. I don't know.
But you're okay with it not being public, and you said you're relieved.
Yeah, like I don't, because it's like I said, like as a song it's crappy. I don't like it as a song. I don't think no one should hear that. So which is good now that I can do my podcast and talk about it and whatnot. Like I don't think I'll ever, I don't know, maybe if I'd be a guest on somebody else's podcast, but I don't think myself, I'm not gonna go out there and be like, yeah, so doing this. Like just sit here and just sulk on my whole podcast. Like that's not what I want to do. The whole thing is relaxing thoughts, not depressing thoughts.
Go on another podcast and talk like that. I'm gonna smack you upside the head.
Sound like I'm with a cigarette in my hand. So I've been through so much, man.
Yeah, I'm doing a relaxation.
like the detective noir type music in the background, like when they narrating the story.
Oh my god, it was so good. That game is so good.
That gonna be me.
We're talking about the vanishing of Ethan Carter.
Yeah,
the detective.
That's gonna be me on somebody else's podcast.
So good.
Nah, but yeah. So yeah, like so as a song, I'm glad it's not out there, but it's but it's like yeah, like I got it out there, music like as a message, like it's out there. I said what I said, it's out there.
Not
whoever.
really.
I mean, not really, but like, you know, whoever cares. Like, it's not like I'm hiding it, but like I said, it's not like I got people who's clamoring for my stuff. Like, I don't have like, again, going with my titles of like friends and whatnot or whatever. Like I don't have those type of people who's like 100% behind me to the point where they'll like they want all of my stuff and they want to critique all of my stuff, and you know, so they can boost me up. It's like oh, cool. Like, I think I like I said, we had the discussion about who heard my last project. Like, out of like my close group of friends, it was like I had to like force one to listen to it. Maybe one listen to it by themselves. So like, yeah, not like people was out there like, I want to hear that Lost long song. So it's not like I'm not hiding it, but at the same time, nobody don't want to air it, so it's whatever. It's gonna sit there.
I'm not gonna ask for something I don't know that I don't know if it exists. Like, how do I ask for something?
Well, I mean, because you came in at a different point in my life, but I put in this description of the project that I couldn't release those 2 songs for that reason.
I know that I gave you some feedback on, not the last one, I think the one before that.
I think it was the mixtape.
Yeah, I think it was the mixtape.
And that one, the thing about that project, that one was different. The point of the free time projects, those are the songs that's, like I said, I got the vault. Those are the songs that are in the vault, but I'm willing to put up there because they were either supposed to be on something that never happened, or they were just songs that were just floating around. So the first 2 free times, specifically the second one, was made like, hey, these are verses that we're supposed to go somewhere, and I'm just gonna put them here. Like, yeah. But the third one, that one, that was a rush. Like, let me get something out there, because like it had been 2017 when I dropped the last one, and I released my last project 2020. So let me put something in there for that gap. And yeah, one of the songs is actually an old song. I took some of the verses one of those songs and put it on the project that came beforehand on a different beat because it flowed better on that beat. But that was like to show you like, oh, this is where the song originally came from. It was supposed to be on this beat. There's actually extra lyrics that I couldn't put on that song because of the structure of the beat. So yeah, here's the behind the scenes version, I guess.
Right.
But most of the other songs were just, let me just get something out.
How do you handle doubters?
It's a thing. It's not so much, I don't know if there's people that doubt me. It's just the thing of like people who either like support me or just don't type thing. It's one of those like, hey, like, it's like, all right, so to categorize like, I guess, doubters and non-supporters or whatever, like I said, I talked at my last podcast when I had that break for myself, whatnot, to analyze that part of me. Coincidentally, it just happened to be recently. Like realizing that, nobody don't owe me nothing. Like, yeah, like I said, like I had people that I grew up with, they'll be my boys. I expect them to be my ride die, let me know whatever, support me through thick and thin, and they don't. And like, or maybe they silently do, like, I don't know about it if they do. And it's like, at the same time, so it's like, yeah, we're close, but at the same time, they don't owe me nothing. Like, it is what it is. Like, I'm not gonna keep forcing people to, hey, my music is out, did you hear it? Hey, my podcast is out, did you hear it yet? So, like,
because then it becomes like, it feels like you're selling yourself when it really shouldn't be that difficult. You should.
Yeah, it's like,
you would like for them to be like, "Hey, man, that thing dropped yet?"
Yeah, it's not even that. It's like for certain things, like you want things to grow. I can't do it all by myself. Though. Like, no, you don't have to listen to it, but at least, hey, I know you have a good following of people. Can you show this to your people and maybe they get into it? Or hey, my YouTube video job, just like it, comment something on it, so it could seem like it's up there. Or rate my podcast, or like just those things. Like, I'm not like, hey, the new episode job, listen to it. Like, these episodes be like sometimes over an hour. Like, I'm not, I don't know what you're doing with your life. Like,
right.
It just
an hour to spare.
Yeah, like, it just happened for me that when I listen to my podcast, I'm mostly listening to it while I'm at work, because like I'm just in my zone chilling. So like, I have that time to listen to like podcasts. But if I'm home chilling and I see somebody upload a new podcast, I'm like, I'm gonna have to save that for tomorrow when I'm at work. Like, I don't listen to it right on the fly, just because I support, like, hey, he dropped a new thing. Like I'm not in the mood for a podcast right now. So like, people go through their things. Like, no, nobody don't want to hear me talking all day, whatever the case is. Is that yeah, so just dealing with, like, I'm not trying to like force it down their throat no more. Like, I post it once, they know it's there. What they do with it from there is on them. Like,
Yeah.
But I haven't specifically had people be like, man, I don't think this podcast ain't for you. I don't think rapping's for you, which is one of my biggest deals, because I never had that, or vice versa. Like, I haven't, like, feedback has been something that's always been lacking in my creating life, like music. I'm like, yo, this project is dope, you should do more like this, or you should probably rap like that, or rap on a beat like this. Like, it's never been none of those little critiques to better myself. So I just been going off of my own. And at the time when I first, like I said, like, as soon as I dropped the project, I instantly regret it, because I just hate hearing myself, hearing how awful it was. So I'm just thinking I'm just terrible through and through, but I'll just still keep doing it. Regardless.
Because no one has told you otherwise.
Yeah. So I'm going in with the worst expectation of it. Like, I'm thinking that I'm the worst content creator ever, I'm the worst rapper ever, but nobody else is saying anything. And even though I'm trash at it, I enjoy creating it. So I'm just gonna keep doing it.
Right, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that's messed up.
But
The whole putting things out there and not knowing that. Oof.
Yeah.
I don't know why that made me feel so uneasy. I think because I know other. Yeah, it's because I know other car narrators who I feel could improve. But you look in their comments and you're not seeing comments that are like, you should fix that.
Yeah.
Or you could do this better.
Yeah.
If anything, all the comments are
Very
keep
positive.
up the good work.
Yeah.
Great job.
Yeah.
So why would they change anything or improve?
Yeah, like, if it's not like a general, like, that could just be you specifically, like, like, hey, maybe if you add a little more oomph into your voice. But everyone else is cool with his voice, so it's like, maybe it's just me. But like,
Right.
if it's overall like, yo, that song you put out, that wasn't it, change it up, do a different beat, talk about something different. Like, oh, okay, all right. So everybody thinking that was terrible. All right, say no more. I won't do that again.
But how much of that do you take though? Because I know someone who narrates, right?
Yeah.
And they have over 1K subscribers. But then you have the few people who are like, you should fix your everything. Like, like I don't like the way you sound. You should change it. Do you cater to the few people, or do you cater to the 1,000 people that are subscribed?
I would cater to that one person, not wholeheartedly, but like if that critique was more genuine, like if they just say, hey, I don't like your voice, change it. To what? Like, like, hey, I didn't like that song, rap about something else. What would you like to hear? What was it about the song that you didn't like? Like specifically, how can I better myself? Not just tell me, hey, you suck, do something else. Like,
constructive criticism.
Yeah, like if you like, hey, like if I do this podcast and someone like, hey, your guest voice was a little too loud, change that. Like, maybe it was too loud. But if like, hey, your guest sounds awful, don't have her on here no more. Like, what?
I feel personally attacked now.
I'm like, wait, what? Like, who are you? Like, I'll have whoever
the only female you have on here. So tell me what's up.
I'll have whoever I want to have. Like just because you don't like it, I don't like it. I enjoy talking to this person. That's why they on there.
Right. There's like 90 other episodes where she's not on there.
Yeah,
listen to those.
If you want to just hear me talk, hey, go to the next episode.
There you go.
Like, I don't try to, well, most of the time, but like when I try to make my general topics like universal, but it's my intros that kind of like dates my podcast when I talk about, hey, yeah, so this movie just came out, like, oh, so this is kind of old, but like I try to like the overall topics, like it's not like I don't try, like it's not one of those daily podcasts who are trying to keep up with the current events and whatnot, so they gotta keep making a lot of episodes. Like, hey, you want to hear about an episode where I talked about chasing your dreams, go to episode 6. But I'm just guessing. You want to hear an episode where I talked about, I don't know,
Sonic. Go to episodes 1 through 77.
Yeah, go to the whole Game and Save Zone podcast.
Right. Go to every episode.
Every episode. So yeah, so you know what they should do? We over here talking about Outlast. You know what they should do though? What? Put Sonic Heroes up. Wait, what? Yeah,
I got the podcast for you, bro.
Yeah, Cyberpunk was nice, but you know what they should do? Sonic.
I wish there was a Sonic only podcast.
Yeah, I know they got OnlyFans, but you ever heard of Only Sonic? Like, just out there just promoting Sonic.
You might as well.
I was so disappointed when the 30th anniversary stream there was no Sonic Heroes thing for it. There's a new Sonic game coming out, but we'll see how that goes.
Fingers and toes.
Yeah, I haven't been, like I said, like I feel like my love for Sonic died with that era of Sonic. Like after Sonic 06, like I stopped buying Sonic games. I played a few afterwards. I played a little bit of Unleash. I actually have Generations now because I got on sale. Not a bad game, but the way the game works is that it plays it's catered to both the 3D and 2D fans. So the game mixes up to having the side-scrolling view sometimes, and it goes to 3D. And I just, like I said, like me, I just don't like the side-scrolling stuff.
Yeah.
So it's half and half. It's not a bad game, but it's like I can do without those levels. But yeah, going into you though, like how you deal with having doubters or whatever, and even so, like, have you ever had doubters that was like close to you compared to like just random people online?
I haven't really had doubters. The last bit of constructive criticism, or any criticism that I've had, was someone telling me that I should add more visuals to my scary stories. And I tried it, and it made me have gray hairs. Like, it stressed me right out, because I went from no visuals to spending weeks on one story, which should have really only taken 1-2 days. So now I'm trying to pare back adding visuals, but paring it way back, because I realized that people don't even really watch their screen when they listen to narration. So
yeah, like when I watch ASMR or listen, like there's few times where I watch it and like legitly watch it, but most of the time I'll like cut my TV off or whatever it is that I'm playing it on. Like if I have it on my phone, I just flip my phone upside down or whatever. Like I just listen to it. Like,
yeah, so much wasted time.
Yeah,
I'm sure some people appreciated it,
yeah,
but the majority of people didn't care.
Well, the question is, so that person who said you should do that and you did it, did they ever come back and like, hey, that was nice? Or was it just crickets after that? Because that's the next thing too, like trying to please that person and they don't even show up the next time.
They did. No, they did, and they said that they liked it.
All right, well
but
then, hey, I mean, you said you searched up, but not bad.
Yeah, I just couldn't. I just needed to pare it down, because it was just causing a traffic jam of nothing getting posted.
Yeah.
But as I said before, when other narrators hear people say, they don't like the person's voice, it's a shock to people who hear that, of course. I mean, especially if you have a lot of subscribers, that's a shock. And they take a step back and they're just like, wait, should I change my voice? Because I've been at however many subscribers, maybe that's what's stopping me from getting to 2K, or having my channel actually grow. And they started to doubt themselves.
Yeah.
How much do you listen to those people?
Yeah. Focus. So, I mean, we touched on it a few times, well, a lot of times, but like the benefits and I guess the pros and cons about like pursuing your goal, and how it be like no matter situation or no matter where you are in your life, like I guess the importance of it. Cause like I was gonna say earlier, but it came back in my mind. Like my uncle recently, going into like his passion of like he started making his own like a hot sauce brand company type thing.
Okay, cool.
But yeah, it's like that's cool, and it's like just the fact that's like like how far he is in his life and whatnot. Like usually that's something you think you do when you're young, get, start up slow when you're young, so that by the time you get older, it's a big thing. It's like the fact that he still, at this time in his life, he still found the time to say, you know what, this is something I always, because like cooking is something that he always like been good at, despite, even though like, I grew up, my mother cooking, usually, that's the best thing for me, but being that like when we go to Trinidad and visit him and whatnot, like they always consider him to be the best cook of the siblings. And
oh wow,
yeah, so it's like the fact that was something he always did and he was good at, and like he's always good at making food spicy too, so the fact that like why not make my own special like sauce for that, and the fact that he could have did that and he still decided like, hey, you know what, and not only that, I also helped him out with making his logo too, because he already knows like I do designing and stuff. So like the fact that I was able to help him do that, so like it was amazing. It's like just like, so I like to see that, like the fact that like I'm a part of that as well. Like he got his sign out there and like, damn, I made that. Like yeah, like how important it is like to always like I guess have your goals and your hobbies, like despite where you are in your life and whatnot.
Why did it take him so long to start?
I personally can't tell you because like I said, he lives far away.
Oh, I thought you knew his story.
No, I'm not. Yeah, I don't see him often. Like honestly, the last time I probably seen him, I was probably still in high school. Maybe the latest, if not before that.
Wow, so like last week.
Yeah.
I'm kidding. Okay. Yeah, I mean, that's great. And I wish it didn't take him so long to gain the confidence to start. But good on him,
is that?
man.
Yeah. But like I said, I mean, but that's what I'm saying. Maybe that's a thing, like a generational thing. Like, when you, like, and it's your parents, like my parents or whatever, telling me, like, you should be doing this at this age or whatnot, because at this age I was doing this, so it's like maybe they was already put in their head that they should be doing something else with their lives at a certain age. So now that they finally at a point where it's like, you know what, I could be doing this. So like that's what I'm saying, like how important it is, and like no matter where you are in your life, where you should start, and how important it is to keep doing it. That's what I'm saying. Yeah.
And it shouldn't take that long, and it, for whatever reason, I don't know his story either, obviously, but some people have that mindset where they're like, I need things to be perfect. I need to have this much money. I need to have this lined up. I need to do this and this and this before I can even attempt to do it. And sometimes it just, life just doesn't line up that way. And you just sort of have to push through, make it work.
Yeah. Just gotta go out there and do it, man. Like,
Do it.
I that was my problem when I was doing the podcast. Like I said this a million times. Like I was originally supposed to start my podcast probably the earliest, late 2016, early 2017. But look, we didn't do the Game and Say until 2020. Then I didn't do this one till October last year. It was 2020 still, but the fact that from when I wanted to originally do it to how long it took me to get to here, like you just gotta do it. Like I was trying to get the perfect guests. I was trying to get the perfect topics, what I was gonna talk about. Yeah.
Perfection isn't sexy. Yeah, right. And I'm so glad that we had that experience, because we kind of needed to sort of like jump in.
Yeah.
Because I wouldn't have been able to just start by myself. I think I needed to have someone with me to start.
Basically.
And it made the transition to, you know, doing for us to do our own thing so much easier.
Yes. Like I said, like, yeah, like the fact that originally I always wanted a co-host. That was the plan, because like I couldn't see myself just sitting here talking to myself. And then the fact that even though we started as a co-host, like it's the fact that I was trying to make it all perfect and get it with specific people, and the fact that me and you didn't even really like know each other. Like I think the situation was that we didn't really. I think the week before we did our podcast was like the first time we spoke vocally, or something like that. So like we were still getting used to each other as people, and we just said, like, oh hey, we this is how your voice sounds like in live and not in the video. Like this is how you talk. So it was like we just get used to each other, and we just say, hey, let's do something that, you know, for better somehow. Like if it worked out for the best, like somehow we could end up doing something majorly, like business wise, and like here we are, could have been strangers doing that. And it's like the fact that we just said, hey, let's do it. And then I was like, hey. And then it was like, you know, after it was all done, I was like, you know, like I didn't wait too long. I had to figure out what I wanted to do. I started doing the Relaxing Thoughts series on the podcast or on my channel at the side. So well, that one was a whole different thing. Like, see, I don't even think people do that. Like, that was a good concept as well. I wish I could have did it more. I just don't know a lot of people who wanted to do it more, or who wants to come back and do it. But I know that was a good concept of like interviewing people. Like, it's basically what you doing, like how you do stories and you interview the authors, like interviewing people about video games while playing video games with them at the same time. It's like that, like as if we are on the couch playing video games together and we're just talking, having a conversation. That's what it was supposed to be like. Like, I don't even think anybody, like, I don't know, like as a concept, like, yeah, you could normally do that. Anyone could just cut, like, you know, live stream two people just sitting there talking about video games, but it's like that was the main intention, like for the guests. Like, it was supposed to make it feel special like that. So like how do I do that and put into podcast form? So like even with my podcast, like there's so much things. Like originally it was gonna be like basically like an off-brand of the Gaming Safe Zone, where I talk about gaming and stuff and anime and whatnot. And then as I started getting down the line and started thinking about things more, and I'm like, I can use this for something else, and especially with the title of it, like Relaxing Thoughts don't sound like video games. Like, why not live up to the name and whatnot? Like talk about things that I think about in my thoughts and whatnot, and see
having it a gaming channel or a gaming podcast definitely held you back.
Yeah,
because you had things to say, and it just throwing in things about goals and passions.
And it wasn't even like promoted. Like I said, like when you look at, hey, what's the name of your podcast? Oh, Relaxing Thoughts. I talk about video games. Like they just don't go together.
These relaxing games, like
like it was very bare bones when I would think about it. Like the point was like it was just supposed to be a play on my name. Like, oh, this is relaxation. These are my this is my relaxing thoughts about video games, but it still don't sound right. It was like, so now it's just to play on the whole, like usually when people say talk about my voice and whatnot, like, oh, it's like just relaxing or whatever. I'm like, oh, okay. So I would like keep with that theme of like trying to maintain like a relaxed, composed style when I talk, and to go with the thoughts, like talk about my thoughts, like things I think about, and things like I like I don't like to keep going on about the things, like, but like I said, like when I was going through my point and not having nobody to vent to because no one was taking it serious, like the people who I went to wasn't taking it serious enough. So it's like, well, if I can't talk to them, then I'm just gonna talk to you guys through myself about what I be thinking about and how I be feeling about certain things, and put it out there so it's a relief for me, and as well as people like, hey, like I talked about it, like I said in my last episode, like, you're not alone in whatever situation you're going through. Like, some people think the same way as you. Like, I personally don't know a lot of people who talk about the things I talk about yet, but the fact that it could be possible, I mean, yeah, and the fact that it's not only that could be possible, but that person could be listening to my podcast. Like, you never know. Never know.
I know.
Like, I always wanted those things, like I said, even though I never get like criticism or feedback or whatever about, like, when it comes to my music or my podcast, like, you always wonder, like, when I look at like my views and stuff, that like the views compared to the criticism, like, it's night and day. Like, a lot of people like, oh, this song is, a lot of people like this song, a lot of people downloaded this song, but nobody ain't saying nothing about the song. So it made me wonder, like, I wonder to this day, like, whoever downloaded that song, like, they still listen to it. Like, how much do that song mean to them? Like, was it just a song for them, or like, hey, this song was really, like, this speaks to me. Like, one of my first popular songs was like kind of like a love type song. I'm like, I wonder people would still be sitting there listening to it, like, damn, like, yeah, he's talking about what I be going through. Like, I don't know if I'm that person for someone. And that's kind of stuff. That's the only reason why I want feedback. Like, I like, I like to know if I'm that person for someone, but at the same time, it's like, yeah, I don't know. So maybe someone who could be listening to my podcast, like, yeah, man, I like what he says, but I just don't know it.
That's awesome. Like, yeah, getting that kind of feedback is amazing.
Yeah.
On my channel, where I do like the role plays, I am acting out. I'm making it seem as though I'm speaking to someone on the phone, or I'm speaking to someone else.
Yeah.
Part of it is me role playing the situation that me and the other person are in, and then the rest of it is more of me venting or getting whatever I have off of my chest. And one of the episodes that I vented and dealt with me having a recurring nightmare where, I'm dealing with the loss of a loved one. And the comments that I received, that was the episode, the Hello Sunshine episode, that I felt like I shouldn't post this. No one wants to hear this. But I got comments on that video that were, people like, I've been there. I also, someone else also said that, they sung the same song to their loved one when they were losing them. And I mean, I was kind of in shock that, so many people, that even one other person went through the same thing. But, it was nice knowing that not only was I alone in it, but that other people appreciated hearing it. And that really means a lot. Sometimes it's a bit much. Like, you're not, people, like, it hits people hard and you're just like, how do I take care of you? Like, I gave you this and I put you in that mood. Like, how do I make sure you're okay?
Yeah.
This is kind of my fault. I'm sorry. I hope you're okay. But yeah, it's nice knowing that you're not alone in it and other people are carrying it.
Yeah, that's basically what I'm trying to do with like everything I'm doing, like make one whole community, let you know like there's a safe haven here, like because I had to go through what I had to go through, and the only reason why I went through it as long as I went through it is because I didn't have a safe haven. And then the things that I did that I thought was safe havens, I just realized it was just toxic on my end, and just like I said, it's a lot when you start learning how to like put responsibility on yourself about the things that you did to get through things and whatnot, and like things I did when speaking to other females and whatnot, and what I put them through to make myself feel better. Like at the time when it went bad, I blamed them for not being there for me when I needed it, but not realizing what it is I was putting them through till after the fact.
Yeah.
It's like knowing how to like. The problem is it's not a problem. It's just it's tricky dealing with like trying to make yourself better and recover from things, because at the end of the day, I can give you the cheat codes and whatever, no matter what, like you still had to do it yourself. Like as much that sucks, like I can tell you what I did, how like the turning point for me, like the moment when it snapped for me and I was like, you know what? And then it was like, yeah.
How long did it take for you to forgive yourself, or are you still in the process of doing that?
The thing about me is that I'm not well, hopefully I'm not like a terrible person, like even though things like ended with me and other females and whatnot, I ended them all on good terms, enough to the point where if it was possible, like I can contact each and all of them and it'll be fine.
Okay, that's good.
Yeah, like it wasn't no lashing out or nothing. I'm not that kind of person. It was just the manipulation stuff that I was doing. That was like, now that I can see it, I was like, I really, yeah.
So was it, and not to get, whatever you feel comfortable with sharing, of course.
Yeah.
Was there that conversation where you were like, look, I was in a tough spot, it's not on you, like I was, did that conversation ever come up where you resolved things with those people, or was it just that stepped away?
Unfortunately, by the time I got to this stage, I'm not in contact with most of them, or majority of them, so it's not like I can tell them. I mean, yeah, but it's not, I don't know, like it's not so much, because the thing is like it's not something that I need to explain, because some of the times they were going through things too. And it was more of a like, maybe we were just using each other.
Okay.
But it was more so like I was being, I guess, the worst of it all, because I made them snap out of it quicker than normal, so they realize like, oh, this isn't healthy, then they should back off. But most of the time it was like, that was the thing, like we both were going into this not in the best space, so we both knew that that's what it was, but it was just me who just snapped them out of it quicker. Like, I don't know, like it's in a way I was hoping don't get better by being down and whatever with myself, but it took me a while for me to get that in reverse.
Yeah. That's another episode, bro.
Yeah, that's a whole another episode, and potentially, I don't think it'll ever happen, but potentially with a specific guest, because it was that person who it took to knock me out of that. Yeah.
That would be an interesting episode.
Yeah, it's an episode that's like I mentioned. I have like 2 planned episodes, like 100% planned with specific guests. So it's just a matter of whenever they can do it. I'm not rushing it. So
you would really have that episode?
I don't think it's gonna be about that.
Oh, okay. It's just with.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Understood.
Yeah. I am thinking about a concept that I probably think it won't happen because knowing people I know. Yeah. But for like my 1 year episode, I'm thinking of like a concept, but I don't know. We'll see how that happens. We still got a month.
A month out? Nice.
Wait, yeah, no, 2 months. A month? Yeah, 2 months. 2 months.
2 months. Okay.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, so we got time. No rush. But
I mean,
I mean, if I want to force it, I could start doing it now just to have it all prepared and then record it, and then, hey, the episode prepared for that day. But nah.
That's early.
Good on that. Cause maybe, I don't know, maybe I'll think of more things and whatnot. So mind is always thinking.
My 400 subscribe episode was just like, it was gonna be like a whole bunch of crap. I was like, you know what? This is taking too long.
Yeah, I'm just gonna say hi and thank you. No, so.
Thanks. Time this is done, it's gonna be to 500 subs. Like, I need to get this out. Stop it.
Yeah.
I overthink everything too much.
Yeah. It's kind of my thing. That's why I record the podcast. Get some of it out. To get some of the things I think about out. Free some space in this cluttered head. But yeah, man. Yeah. I think we're good, right? We good?
I think we're good.
Okay. Alright, so normally I like to end the podcast off with a question of the day. Just asking if you have one yourself. If not, that's fine.
Well, going off of the topic of today, I would like to know what piece of advice that you received that has stuck with you, that you like really helped you to improve. That's my question.
That good feedback.
Good feedback.
For me, I have. Has there been a time where you decide to, like, despite whoever doubts or whoever people saying about you, like, you decide to say, you know, I'm still gonna keep pursuing my dreams and my goal? Like, has it worked out for you in a great way that you pretty much was hoping that it would work out? Yeah, that's that. Before we go, my guest Dodge, if you have any final words, anything you like to say, thing you want to promote, whatever. Floor is yours.
Oh, I got chills. I'm DodgeThis82. You can find my YouTube channel in the description of this episode. Check me out. I do horror gameplays. I do scary narrations. I do a lot of different crap, actually. So I'm pretty sure that you'll find something you like.
All right. And as always, again, if you guys enjoyed this episode, you enjoyed this podcast, hearing things like this, feel free to share it. Feel free to share it to someone you think would like these conversations. And yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed. Have a good day. Have a great week. And peace.
Bye, guys.